Okay, boom. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is cooked. I'm talking about the feds might be coming in after her. It might be an indictment coming in soon. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant have been charging people $320 an hour for her sessions, claiming the fact that she's a doctor, knowing that she's not an actual doctor. So what that means is this. That's wire fraud. You see what I'm saying? You are scamming people to pay you $320 an hour for for your opinion, and you flying under the doctor's flag, bro. It's bad for it, bro. People are starting to tune in, and you know how the internet police is, man. Once they get on to some shit like this, your motherfucking ass is grass, Jack. So with that being said, everybody tune in, man. This is the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant Expose Day. Let's go.
Cheyenne Bryant is committing wire fraud, in my opinion. I wasn't going to make a video about this until I just watched a very reasonable interviewer asking her, why don't you show the proof? She says what she says. And then she says, okay, then why don't you just drop doctor? And she says what she says. And I'm here to answer to her.
All right, so let me stop right there. The reason why she can't drop Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, because that's her brand. You understand what I'm saying? No matter what it is, she actually trademarked Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've been looking real close at Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? I've been around Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Yeah, I know, my nigga. I used to live in West LA, right? I told you I went to Hamilton High School. Omarion from B2K used to be there. Nipsey used to go to Hamilton. We all went to Hamilton, man. And we all was at this certain table. So we all know each other, right? But I lived in West LA. And where I lived in a Mansfield hood for a little bit of time, right? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant grew up in West LA. I remember Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She used to be with the cut reps. Yeah, nigga, I think, yeah. And speaking of the devil, she was in B2K music video, that I Gotta Be the One video, right? She was the girl hiding behind the suitcases in the hotel, popping up like a groupie, looking for some teenage boys, which means she was already older than us, right? So I think we were probably like in our junior years, not sophomore, junior year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She was bad too. Woo, that girl was bad. Yeah, nigga, I'm talking about bad. Dr. Cheyenne, hey, I ain't mad at you. Damn, bro, shit. But yeah, hey, some people say beauty fades. I don't see it, but yeah, she was bad. She was hot shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, she grew up with the Crips. Yeah, nigga, she grew up with the Crips, bro. She been around some shit. You know what I'm saying? West LA. If y'all really look at some of her O's, she looked like some West LA shit. That's what West LA used to look like back in her younger days, boy. You feel me? So yeah, let's get back to this content though. Let's go.
Drop the doctor or provide proof, because what you're doing is wire fraud. And each instance is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison. And an instance is not your website. It's not the one website and that's one count. Each time a person hires you because you induced them to by calling yourself a doctor and a psychology expert when you are neither of those things, each time someone hired you is a count of wire fraud. 20 years each. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, okay? She's holding herself out as a doctor, and up there it also says doctor. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is a psychology expert, renowned life coach, co-producer of blah, blah, blah. She goes on to say that she is a PhD and has multiple degrees. When this whole thing has exploded, people are like, oh, wait a second, you only offer life coaching. And she says, well, yeah, I don't hold any licenses.
Hold on, wait a minute. Private wellness retreat, $500. Virtual life coaching via $350. My nigga, come on, bro. She's making more than an actual doctor. Her rate is higher than the ones who actually charge that. Woo! Man, your ass going to jail. All right. Shut up. Stop talking. Keep your mouth closed. Don't, man, they on your ass. The internet police is on her ass, bro. So as y'all, we'll get to it. Let's go.
I don't hold any mental health professional licenses because I don't take insurance, and you only need that if you're going to take insurance. I think that she's playing a very careful game of like not technically calling herself a licensed mental health professional. Okay, so she's very clear that she's not licensed, but she is holding herself out otherwise to be a mental health doctor. She is insinuating that she is a doctor of psychology, among other things, because she has multiple. People are like getting real skeptical, and they're like, where's your dissertation? I would love to see your dissertation. Can't find your dissertation online. She doesn't know where her dissertation is. The thing that people live, breathe, eat, sacrifice themselves on the altar of, she has no idea where it is. Okay. So then they're like, all right, so let's see your degrees. And she's like, well, I went to this school, Argosy, and it closed down. And so then people are like, I went there. There's a third party that holds the transcripts. You can order your transcript. So she says she went to that third party, and they only hold those for 2 years. And so then the entire internet's like, I went there 5 years ago. I went there 10 years ago. I went there 15 years ago. And here I am on the internet ordering my transcript right now. And now she's just saying she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to prove it to anyone because she knows who she is and she knows what she's.
So yeah, so with all of that, bro, this was what was so tricky about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you go and pay, first of all, a financial institution, you know what I'm saying, that you got financial aid for and all that shit, you can't, if the school is closed, the financial institution is closed. You understand what I'm saying? This is the thing, right? Ain't no financial institution is finna refund you all that money because they can't send you your diploma. It don't work like that, my nigga. Like, nigga, your diploma will still be credited even if the school closed down. At that time, that's not how institutions work. So when you look at shit like that, if your school closed down, you should always be able to obtain it. You see what I'm saying? Even if the high school's closed, college is closed, that is still valid because it was valid at that time. And it was registered through the school board. So nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying that. You talking about I ain't never heard of a financial institution refunding somebody because of school closed. Nah, nigga, they not giving up that money. They're gonna send you that diploma and let you know that it's valid, get it notarized, whatever it is, so they can't validate your actual diploma. So, man, niggas ain't buying that, bro. But she grew up in West LA. At West LA, like them some fly niggas over there, man. Them niggas get some money. A lot of them parents was well off. You know what I'm saying? They some riders over there. She grew up over there, and just all that shit. The Melrose area. She used to be all through that shit, bro. So, yeah, man, she just made it out. She made it out, bro. She made off of finessing. She made it to the top off of jugging and finessing, gang. But this right here, she's playing a dangerous game because, like they say, with pretty privileges come pretty problems. Yeah, and it look like her ass going through some problems right now. They are just, first of all, that book that she came out with is done. It's done. Let's go.
Here's the clip that I just watched that made me have to answer. I had to answer.
I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
that's
his. The questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been.
Why don't you show proof? I don't have to show proof because my proof is with my degrees. So then show the degrees. Anyway, fast forward at the end of this little clip, there's like a lot of talking in between. The interviewer says, okay, then why don't you just drop doctor from your website? Just drop doctor. And she says the exact same thing. Because here's the thing. I have multiple degrees. Babe, I am telling you, why not drop doctor? Why not show the proof? Because federal charges, okay? Because wire fraud, okay? Because I have been watching the Real Housewives franchises for long enough to know that there are people, feds, who are watching because their loved one watches and they're, you know, they're on social media and something seems fishy. Yeah, what is the business of that one's husband? What does that guy do? That seems fishy. They're flaunting way too much here. Gotta look into it. And then the next thing you know, there's federal charges against them. It is not a secret that they absolutely get their interest piqued by potential federal crimes being committed by just like observing.
Dr. Bryant, man, she has a brand. She trademarked the name. You see what I'm saying? So everything is based off of her trademark. So if somebody even try to use Dr. Bryant, who is a Dr. Bryant, and want to get on social media as a real doctor, she can stop it no matter what the situation is because she trademarked the name in those spaces specifically. So the actual real Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, can never get on any social media podcast with that actual degree and use that name. You have to use something else because she trademarked it. That was one of the smartest things she did because she knew that name is common. Somebody can potentially have that name. So she was smart enough to do that. She's from West LA, bro. She's smart than a motherfucker. She's very witty. She know how to finesse. And she grew up around some street niggas that knew how to finesse like a motherfucker. So, not to mention she was a video vixen. Oh, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant said she was running for the mayor of LA. I didn't even fucking know that. Yeah, boy, look, that's ambition like a motherfucker. Yeah, little pretty young man. Hey, they say, hey, if looks could kill, boy. Shit, all right.
Things in the world. And so there's a good chance, Cheyenne Bryant, that there's a Fed or the loved one of a Fed who has been served up this content like I have about this controversy. And someone's going to look into it. And either they're going to find out that you don't have those degrees, or they'll find out that you do. But it might be a good idea to nip it in the bud before it gets anywhere.
So wait a minute, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, this is a little bit some of her resume. She says she owned 3 stores on Melrose. She had a house by 19, of course. Video Vixens was making a little bread, you know, and back in those days when you had that type of look, you was exclusive. Niggas was big paying for it, right? She has what? 3 masters and 2 doctors. You know what I'm saying? All those degrees. Man, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of accomplishments, right? But you should have an office. You know what I mean? Your degree should be plastered. You have to show your degrees when you're licensed to do anything of that content. So I don't know, man. Hey, hopefully, man, she let this shit go, pull that shit down because it could get bad for her.
And just show the proof if you have it. And if you don't have it, I would drop the doctor from your website, from your podcast.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So as I was saying, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant book was just removed from Amazon, and here's why.
Are pulling Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's books, and they are refunding people's money for buying those books. And now I think it's gotten to the point where if she truly does have she says she has 6 degrees, 3 doctorates. If you have at least 1 doctorate, you need to show your credentials right now, girl. It's the time. You know, she was making this.
Wait, excuse me. 6 degree, 3 doctors.
Whole point of being like.
That's a lot of school, bro. That's a lot of motherfucking school, bro. Come on, gang. Come on, gang. I remember See you in West LA, bro. I remember it. I remember seeing you in West LA for sure. She used to hang with the Mansfields, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was, a little pretty young thing around the way. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was just fortunate enough to be in the right area at the right time, man. Because a lot of people I came up with once I moved from the East Side, nigga, I started, seeing a lot of motherfuckers in the West LA like doing big shit, getting a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I went to the right schools at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like I made a lot of friends along the way that's doing big shit. You know what I'm saying? That put me at the very top of being at mansions and going to niggas' house parties, and these niggas was living in mansions. You know what I'm saying? So I seen a lot of shit growing up a little bit in West LA. So, yeah, man. Dr. Bryant, a lot of niggas know who she is, bro. Like, she ain't just no pretty face, man. She really come from the streets, to be honest. She come from the streets, gang. But this book right here, Live Your Promise, they just removed that from Amazon. I just went and looked that shit up, bro. It's not there. Let's go.
Like I don't have to validate what I got.
Mark, this is my thing, right? When you have two black people running, because I did this with Los Angeles, I was running for LA mayor.
Can't make this shit up. Yeah, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You might as well call her a Crip, nigga. Nigga, what? She was running for mayor. This is something new. Let's go.
And then I seen our mayor, Karen Bass, come in as a candidate. And she was running against a white male, a Republican, and it was neck to neck. And I knew that had I stayed in the race, neither one of us would have ran because two black people will split the vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying, right, Mark? So what I'm saying is I pulled out so that Karen could win.
Right.
And she barely won, like Mark is saying, I'm talking about by a needle. Had I even took 200 of her votes, then she would.
So what you're saying is you gave the mayor of LA that position because you removed yourself so she could win? All right.
Argosy University, which shut down in 2019 after the Department of Education pulled federal funding, her records are gone because the third-party record holder only kept files for 2 years, and she was conveniently past that window. She has only financial aid documents showing she paid for a doctoral program. And if you listen carefully, the word doctoral in this conversation becomes a sticking point because she can't even pronounce the word. She pronounces it doctorial program. One would say that if you can't even pronounce the word, who is going to believe that you actually have completed a doctoral program? What she wants you to believe is that she's a victim of a corrupt institution. Conveniently, not someone who made up whole cloth that she has a degree that she hasn't completed. Okay, but
all right, y'all. So let's get to the real meat and potatoes, man. We got Poetic Flacco. Let's go.
The Breakfast Club just exposed Cheyenne Bryant and ruined her life again. They already ruined her life during the first interview, but they just brought somebody else on to expose her further. Before we get the video started, this video is sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is a prediction market where you literally make money by predicting. And they gave her enough rope to hang her career, while at the same time simultaneously manipulating her into thinking they believe what she was saying.
The conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
Mm-hmm.
How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks.
Look at the vulgar language that she's using, gang. There's no way, nigga, you gonna see a doctor carrying herself like that in that type of content, my nigga. It's just fucked up because at the end of the day, it's like her back against the wall. And, a lot of people who didn't pay $500, $300, whatever those sessions she's charging, them people really like whatever her sessions was. She might really be good at what she do. But the fact that people want to say, like, man, I prove to us that this is, you know what I'm saying, who you are. She feel like she don't got to show nobody nothing. And that's what's probably making people feel like, shit, I done spent my whole life going to school and educating myself to get to this point. Then here come your pretty ass coming in here, just putting titles and names and know how to finesse and manipulate and you know, problem solve some issues for people. And you just get the fame and the glory. Some people ain't going for that, bro. So, you know, damn. All I can say is best of luck to you, man. Shit, I hope you get what you're looking for. Let's go.
You know, my village is very simple. I went to a school, Argos University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right?
So she was running for the mayor of LA. She was going to law school. She has 3 doctors, 3 masters, boutique store owner on Melrose, had 3 stores, a house at 19. Bruh, when did you have time, man? I mean, it could be done. It could be done, but that's crazy.
To get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid.
All right. So just a little heads up. There have been people who actually went to that same school who tried to go see if they could get a copy of their degree, right? And it shows that they're actually further behind. They can man, look, bro, they've been pulling their degrees. They've been getting copies. People are going online showing, look, I went to school after you. You know what I'm saying? And I was still able to obtain that. Some people show they went to school before her. They were still able to obtain their diplomas, their degrees. So I don't know what made her say that shit. Maybe she was nervous. But, bro, you still obtain those degrees. It's a lie. It's a fraud. And like the young lady said earlier, man, if y'all go to her website, go look at those prices, what she's charging people to consult. You know what I'm saying? And you flying under them umbrellas that people have to go to school for years for. But you the only one in the world that don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You got 6 degrees, 3 doctors, 3 masters. Come on, bro. And people just got to take your word, man. It's fucked up because now it's probably, like she said, it's probably somebody who believed in you that you didn't even know her husband was an agent. Like, it's bad, bro. Y'all seen that penal code, man. All them times you charging those people flying under that doctors is wire fraud. So you got to be careful. You know, a lot of niggas from West LA got hit with that type of shit. So, you know, and she's been winning like that for a couple years now. So you know she got some money on. Let's go.
You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute.
That's crazy.
So do you want us to refund you?
That's crazy.
Or do you want us not?
She lying.
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
I said no.
Nobody would have brain believed that story. There are people coming out who attended the same school that she quote unquote like can't receive her records from, and they say, yo, Parchment holds over the records for her school as well as for other schools. There is no 2-year limit. This is such a blatant lie. So people who have actually attended the school is telling us she's lying. Like, you could obtain your record even though the school has closed down. And even that elaborate story about federal student aid, offering to refund her money, that's the discharge program. You only qualify for the discharge program if you withdrew from the school or you were still currently attending the school. The discharge program does not apply to people who completed a degree, because obviously you completed the degree. Why would they refund you the money? Right? So even her story proves that she's lying, because if you actually graduated with your doctorate, you wouldn't qualify for the discharge program. You qualify for the discharge program because you didn't finish the degree. So like the Breakfast Club like ruined her life, man. Like everybody now sees her for a fraud. Nobody believes her story. There's a Cheyenne Bryant like challenge going on TikTok right now, and these women are absolutely cooking her.
Let me tell you, porch monkey, something. You darkies, you'll never understand, because as a psychology expert with licensure, but I don't have the licensure because you only need that to diagnose. And I went to the university, and then I was applying to be a professor at the law school as a PhD holder, my doctoral. Now, as I was getting my doctoral, I came back around. I didn't have the transcripts, but the dissertation. And then at that time I said, therapy. And see, what you don't understand is you don't have to have licensure as a therapist for diagnoses, because I'm a life coach. And as a psychology expert, what some people are never going to understand about me is when I came back to do that doctoral, and the doctoral of it all, the summation at the end of the day, they're going to never understand.
Okay, I'm going to explain this one time and one time only, never again. I'm a doctor because I say I am. I'm going to break it down for you because I know there's a lot of people in your community that don't quite comprehend the things that I'm speaking. I am psychologizing a lot of people with my knowledge and my knowledge alone. The reason I don't work within a licensure is because it would require me to diagnose you with bipolar schizophrenia. Do you want bipolar schizophrenia? That's what I thought. I was a part of a doctorology program. I completed the program, and then the school burnt down, okay?
Yo, people are absolutely cooking this fraud. Continue to cook this fraud. Now, she thought it was a good idea while being in the storm to continue the media run. Now, before we even get to what the Breakfast Club did today to expose her and to further ruin her life, let's take a look at what she did to further ruin her life today. So she did an interview, and they brought up the subject of this fake doctorate that she has, right? And when they brought it up, she just made things worse for herself, man. I don't know what it is. We could just sense a liar and somebody being, deceiving us, right? So they asked her about this, and her explanation also went viral today because her explanation just made things. It's probably even worse than the first explanation. Here's what she has to say. Disclaimer, whenever you hear somebody bring up God when trying to rebuttal a lie, they are lying.
You're a motivator for many people, and oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple of days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God.
First red flag, man. You bring up God in this situation, you are a charlatan. But she thought she had a friend in this lady. Like, she thought the lady was gonna like take whatever she says as the answer and then move forward. But nah, this lady is very skilled at what she does, okay? So she rebuttals. She says, yo, I'm a journalist. I can prove I'm a journalist in 5 seconds. Here's my degree. Cheyenne Bryant then goes on the entire spiel. The lady then follows back and cooks her and says, okay, if you can't prove it, then why don't you just take the doctor from out your name until you prove it, which I think is a fair solution. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did not like that, man. And what followed through was them both with some light shade and heavy passive aggressiveness towards each other.
Not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice, even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
That's
the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see. Right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself. They deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane. And I'll land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
Attack, but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth the doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
No,
thank you. I know
thank
you're
you.
going to hang around. And
I want to thank you for asking the hard questions.
Well, I
appreciate
that.
that.
I'm a journalist with 2 degrees at the end of the
How
day.
many?
And so I had
How
2.
many? Come on, girl.
Yes, Northwestern and Emory
Come on, girl.
University. So I
There
had to
you
make
go.
sure I display that.
People keep asking, how do we actually get an AI agent on our team? Well, it's easy. Watch how I do it in 60
Yo, you could look at the look she's giving this fraud. Like, yeah, like 2 degrees. Look, like, I'm a journalist. I had to display that. I'm a journalist. Yeah. Yo, if I'm hurt, bro, cancel the press tour, man, and keep it. Just cancel it all, bro. You have been exposed and people are seeing right through you. Now, the Breakfast Club being, as slime bally as they are, they played nice in her face, made it seem like they agreed with her. The moment she gets in the backfire, the moment she's in the current fire, right, in the storm, they go to invite somebody on to expose her. Now, I'm going to give Charlamagne credit. Charlamagne was not there. If Charlamagne was there, I believe 100% Charlamagne the guy would have called her to the carpet right then and there, right? Because Charlamagne, to me, ain't scared of conflict. Everybody else is playing nice. So they brought on another person to do what I guess they were too scared to do when she was there.
We're in an era where social media has turned a lot of people into mental health influence.
For sure.
How important is licensing when somebody is giving, relationship or trauma advice to millions of people?
I personally find it important to be licensed. For myself, it's important because it makes sure that I'm ethically sound. Make sure that people are safe around me. Make sure that I'm continuing all my education credits. Make sure that I'm getting all the training. Because it's one thing, we got a lot of therapeutic language being slang about people calling you gaslighter and narcissist. And we got all the words, but people don't really know what happens next in terms of healing.
Did you see our interview with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant?
I saw clips.
Okay. So when we were getting ready for that interview, I called one of my friends. Her name was Dr. Shonda Reynolds. And she was saying that to me because I was mentioning
Patient Dr. Shonda?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the homie. Come on now.
That's my sister. Like we went to high school together, like all of that. But yeah, she helped me prep for that interview because there was so many different things that you have to go through.
It's very nuanced.
The conversation we're having with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant takes away from the conversation we should be having about the real issues that some people have getting licensed. And I know you're licensed as a therapist. So I don't know if you have anything that you've experienced when you were going through your process.
Not anything to that extent, but licensure is incredibly challenging to get through. I don't think people understand how much schooling, how many hours of practicum and how many hours of internship you have to undergo. And then the test itself is difficult. And then the licensing board.
Now y'all heard that, the intern of that shit. You know what I'm saying? When you had time, cause shit, nigga, you was in music videos and shit. But anyway, we gonna leave it right there, man. Y'all drop y'all thoughts and y'all opinions in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Let's get it. Let's go, and we out this time.